was sort of forced to become an entrepreneur because I put my portfolio out there after I graduated college and grad school, and nobody wanted to hire me.
A lot of my success up to date, it has to do with my mentors, right? So there's people that I've gotten close to that are at a better position than me, and through them I've been able to learn through their mistakes and be able to catch up much quicker than if I would have done it by myself. And one of them is you.
It's phenomenal, and I think any business that's not taking advantage of this new wave of technology, you're gonna get left behind.
What are some pivotal moments? What have you done to go from $50 to a $90,000 client? It's just conversation.
Just clips.
So I want to do my first 10 episodes with the people that either I work with a lot, I'm really close to, or just I think like it's a big part of my network, and then go from there. When I reach 10, then it's like, where do I want to go with it?
Trying to see.
Right.
Okay, that sounds
So
good.
this is actually episode 6.
Ooh,
So
6 is
Steve,
great.
Thank you so much.
6 is a great number for me and my wife.
Why?
Because the number 3, I'm a number 3 in my fraternity of my pledge line, and she's a number 6.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of use those as like our special numbers.
Nice.
Whenever we see those numbers in the world, what we've learned is like that's kind of like God smiling down at us.
Ooh, I like that. That's pretty
it's
cool.
nice. So somebody told us that. It's
Yeah.
like whatever your lucky numbers are, whatever your numbers are, it's like you're in the right place. So thank you for
Of course, yeah. So you're in the
being
right
in the
place.
right place.
That's I like that because that gives me I feel good for that. That's like a good sign
Yeah.
for you, but also for me.
It's a great time.
Because we've been trying to do this for a couple months now, since
Yeah.
like episode 2 or 3. So the fact that it fell right on 6 is fantastic.
Beautiful. Love it.
So, well, first off, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I mean, we've been together for 5 hours already, 4 or 5 hours, but we're shooting this podcast, and I appreciate you coming. For people that don't know, this is Steve Lucin, creativepreneur of Hallucinated, Team Lucin, and what's the other one? Support Creativity. And we've known each other for a really, really long time. I got a lot of love for you. I've known you since I was, 5, 6?
Yeah, maybe 7. I don't know. When we were at Nunez Dental, I was either in grad school or still in college, working for them in the summer, and you were very young, running around in the office.
Yeah. So I thought to have you on this podcast because you and I already have, for a couple reasons. One is we've known each other for a long time. 2, you've been a pinnacle part in We Capture. I feel like I've been a big pinnacle part of your companies as of the last 2 to 3 years, 4 years.
Sure.
And I also think you have a great mind, great attitude, great soul. So I wanted to have you on, have a conversation, just chat, and
Sounds good, man. Thank
talk
you.
about shit.
Thank you. I received that.
Of course.
For sure.
So I wanted to start off by talking a little bit about your business. So a lot of people, or my Instagram is filled with your content because we work a lot together. But for those that don't know, right, you have Support Creativity, you have Hallucinated, and you have Team Lucin. So talk to me a little bit about each one, what they represent, and what they do for people or companies.
Sure. So Hallucinated is my business. That's the S Corp, right? I've had it since 2012, and it started with designing party flyers. That evolved to animating those same party flyers, then to creating YouTube content, promo material, and it was doing pretty well. Pandemic hit, and then I had to shift focus. I kind of like put that on pause. And then I want to say a year before the pandemic, I was actually shifting focus to Team Lucin. And that's where I wanted to sort of rebrand myself and focus more on businesses, corporations. And then the pandemic forced me to really focus on nonprofits. So that's where Team Lucin kind of got more of its strength, because the pandemic forced me to focus on the nonprofits and provide my services, my creative services to them. That's kind of what like happened organically. After that, now that's what Team Lucin focuses on, right? Doing unlimited creative services for nonprofits.
Nice.
as a subscription-based model.
Nice. It seems like there's 3 big parts of what you were doing, and now you created just businesses from each one, for that dedicated thing, right? Like you were a graphic designer, so you have Team Lucin that does graphic design, but way bigger than that is branding. It seems like you like to help a lot of people, which is support creativity. You're helping creatives to get scholarships, to get opportunities. But then you also, I know you like to party. I know you like to go out. So then you have the hallucinated side, right? Was that your plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of not the end of the game, the beginning, I was sort of forced to become an entrepreneur because I put my portfolio out there after I graduated college and grad school, and nobody wanted to hire me. So I was forced to just take my freelancing more seriously. And the party scene was very creative, still is very creative, and I enjoyed it, right? So that's why I evolved, hallucinated from doing party flyers, and now we actually go out into events at parties and do live recording and live editing, as well as projection mapping and VJing. VJing is one of my true passions. It's so much fun to influence the energy of the room through visuals, through animations, through the lights that are in the party. That's what VJing is. And then with support creativity, I actually started that at the same time as Hallucinated, pretty much the same year. I figured let me save $100 a month. In a year, I'll have $1,000 to award a scholarship to somebody in need. And ever since then, since 2013, we've awarded over $50,000 in scholarships.
Jeez, 50 grand. That's a lot. Good job, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
That's very selfless of you. And there's not a lot of people out there, especially in New York and like the big city that we live in, to give away $50,000 is unheard of, right? In our group, in our niche. So for whoever you gave the scholarship to, I commend you for that because
Thank you.
it's not easy. That's 50 grand you could have kept for yourself. And you could have done whatever you wanted with it, but you decided to give it away.
Well, it's also from the strength of our community, right? It was my friends, my fraternity brothers, my colleagues, my family members. They all donated to the cause, especially our guardians of creativity. Those are our monthly donors. They're the ones that keep the scholarship sustaining.
Nice. And you've been doing that for a number of years because your ultimate event for support creativity is the Untitled Art Show, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So in the first few years, when we announced the scholarship winners, it was just on Instagram, and we would mail a check to somebody. But it was because the scholarship was nationwide. After those few years, like literally like 2-3 years, we scaled it down. We were like, let me just award scholarships to those who are in the tri-state area because we're New York City based. Yeah. So from there, that's where we were like, okay, let's award them nearby because then we can actually meet the people. So let's host an art show to celebrate them. Yeah. And that way they could come to the art show. We could meet them in person, meet their family, meet their friends, and start to build that community, build that network. And it's been beautiful. So yes, since 2015, 2016-ish, we've been hosting an annual art show to celebrate these young creatives.
Nice. That's awesome. And now one thing that I help you out a lot with, or one of the main reasons that our relationship is so strong is that now my company, We Capture, is helping you out with a lot of things, specifically with Hallucinated and Steve Lucin, or Team Lucin. So
and support creativity.
Yeah,
all three.
Exactly. And before I dive into that, because again, we've been working together a lot in 2023. But again, it started with you giving me my first editing lesson. I tell a lot of people, a lot of my success up to date, it has to do with my mentors, right? So there's people that I have gotten close to and that I've gotten close to that are at a better position than me, or I've wanted to get to their position. And through them, I've been able to learn through their mistakes and be able to catch up much quicker than if I would have done it by myself. And one of them is you. So I wanted to do in, 2020. I got fired from working at the family company. My dad fired me, which is really funny.
I forgot about that.
And then I don't even know how the topic came to fruition, but I ended up meeting up with you in your Times Square office. And I said, hey, I want to get into videography because my wife bought me a Nikon D3400, like a $300-$400 camera. And then I said, let me go full time. She gave me the idea because I was thinking about doing Uber.
Ooh.
And then she was like, what if you take We Capture full time? What if you just run with it? And I said, okay, let me meet with any creative that I know. And you were at the time, I think, the only creative that I really knew. So then you gave me my first editing lesson, and I love it because it's full circle. Because now, for the last year or so, we've been editing the content for you. We've been filming the content for you. So it's come full circle. Uh, had I known that 3-4 years later after that lesson that we'd be working together, or that you would be paying me for services, or I would be paying you for services, I don't know. It's just such a nice feeling to have, full circle, putting so much time and effort into something, into somebody, and then it just
Is beautiful. I'm very proud of that moment and what
Yeah.
it has flourished into.
yeah.
I have footage of that.
Yeah,
Go
the
for that.
shot, what we took a shot of, I forgot what it was. It wasn't coquito.
Oh, it was Pitoro, coquito flavored
There you go.
from Port Morris Distillery. Doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
So it's already a legendary shot that we took.
And that's the beginning. I have it on my favorites. I'll put it in the thing so everybody can look at it.
We're gonna do this. What is it called?
We Capture Media.
Congrats, bro.
To start the beginning of a very big game.
Movimientos poderosos.
Yep. Going into that, I kind of wanted people to understand where this started from. But now into this year, one of my success stories for 2023 was working with you, because again, full circle. Now it's not, hey, Steve. It's Steve is my mentor, but now I'm genuinely bringing you a lot of value, and to your company and to your business, and vice versa. You're bringing me so much business. You're bringing me so much value. But now, again, with your clients, with your nonprofits, we're able to provide you your service. I guess talk about that a little bit, because, again, it was such a big part of our.
Well, I love that. I just taught you how to organize your files, how to data dump, how to just cut things in Premiere, and you literally took it and ran with it, right? Because then from there, you used your Osmo Pocket, and you still hey, help me out with support creativity videos, and you would do them, and they would come out great. And then you stepped your game up, got a better camera, better equipment, and now the shots look phenomenal. So I was like, oh, I really don't need to worry about the quality of content that I get from you, right? It's literally, you're my go-to, and it's been fantastic. Whether it's a nonprofit organization or a party like the 9 a.m. Banger, like, the quality looks movie, and I know people love it and enjoy it, and they're like, wow, this is fantastic. I want that. Can you get that? No, I charge way too much, and you're not being afforded. You can't have this.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. But you gotta have to pay for it.
Yeah. But I love that you always say, like, one of your goals is to hire me full time, or have me every day, follow you around every day.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine.
Yeah.
I just want you full time. Maybe Kim, maybe one of your other editors, but to have somebody full time, just to follow the things that I do.
Yeah.
Because I only put out what I can at the moment, right? If I were to get somebody to really truly see what I do every day, I think it'd be more impactful for others, more inspirational for others, because I do a lot.
You do a
And
lot.
It's interesting stuff that I do too.
It's very. This is definitely not a real word, but this is very pioneery. Like what we spoke about earlier today. Trailblazing. There you go. Like the whole ChatGPT that you were talking about. You were incorporating so much AI into your business.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
Oof. It's phenomenal. I don't know why people complain so much about AI. It has been enhancing my powers, my capabilities, and moving my business forward, because there is collective knowledge in the world. And I'm a huge believer in us sharing the knowledge. And something like ChatGPT, this AI technology, collects the knowledge for us. You ask it the right question, it gives it to you in a silver platter, and it's fantastic. It gets us ahead of the game. So I've been do you want to know how I've been using it?
Yeah, go for it. definitely go into it. I want more details because I use ChatGPT as well, but from a beginner standpoint, where it's like, do me, I'll say create an email template about blah, and then I'll copy and paste and
Mm-hmm.
go from there. But
Sure.
there's so much more. You can dive way deeper and create so much more effective. You can you can give it way more effective commands
Yeah.
that you're doing right now. Like you're
Yeah.
teaching AI to think like you and be like
Yeah.
you. Talk about that.
Fantastic. Before I dive into that, I'll throw in something fun first,
Right.
because what ChatGPT has allowed me to do, and we paid for the pro version, right? I think it's $20 a month.
Mm.
What it's allowed me to do is to imagine images. And one of those images that I'm very proud of, I show it to everybody, you better show it here on the podcast, is what my future hallucinated studio is going to look like. So like you mentioned before, I had an office by Times Square, but I was within a bigger entity. Now the goal is to have an office that's a warehouse that belongs to me and us, right? Because I'll have you there if you accept, right? I'll have you there with your equipment and storage and all that stuff, with creative desks, with a big LED screen for us to practice our VJing, a sleeping room, like I mentioned, the storage room, a daycare for our kids. Like I
A
really
gaming
envision
room.
a really, really fruitful place for us to be creative, create content, and just do what we love. So I'll pass all those images to you so that people can see.
Yeah.
So those images are fun to create.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, a little bit more advanced. I mean, ChatGPT just came out with the ability to create your own customized GPT. Now that means, like, for a prompt, every time you have a prompt, you're sort of directing a conversation, right? And with a GPT, it allows you to teach the customized GPT a certain direction,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to teach that direction again over and over. Because with regular prompts in ChatGPT, you're limited to 40 lines of conversation. Then you have to start over.
Mm.
And whatever you want to teach it again, you have to teach it again.
Mm-hmm.
But we created our own Team Lucin GPT.
Mm.
So I literally told it, read this website, read these case studies, learn them, understand what my service is, and then you're going to help me market this service. So now it has a foundational understanding of who Steve Lucin is, what he's about, what he's trying to do, who his target audience is. And now the prompts come out that much easier, or the answers come out much more
Accurate.
precise and accurate, exactly on point, because it just knows what we're trying to do. It has the direction, and we keep feeding it more information to have that strong foundation.
You're making a super powerful Steve Lucin brain.
Bro, I freaking love it.
That's again, you were saying it before, like you're gonna be part of that pioneer group of businesses or business owners that have AI embedded in the core of the business.
100%.
And that'll just on a day-to-day, like the tasks, all of that, it'll be able to speed everything up. But then also on a macro level, where a lot of times we get stuck on the day-to-day for our businesses, but a lot of times we need to take a step back and work on our business, right? Not work in the business, work on the business. And I feel like if you're teaching AI to do that, it'll help you do all of that with way less brain power.
Yeah, man, it's phenomenal, and I think any business that's not taking advantage of this new wave of technology, you're gonna get left behind.
So one of the topics I really wanted to discuss with you was you were in college, you got your master's in design, you went from doing, how much would you charge for a flyer back in the day?
Free to $50.
Okay, so let's just say on the high end, a $50 flyer, right? You go from charging $50 for a flyer to going, what's your highest paying client, if you don't mind me asking, for highest ever project?
I'd say it's like 90 grand.
So going from a $50 graphic to going to a $90,000 client. Like what are some, I know there's so much to talk about there, but what are some pivotal moments? What have you done to go from $50 to a $90,000 client?
Ooh. So I think one of the main things is understanding who you want to serve and are they an ideal client.
Mm.
So in the beginning, I was serving DJs and let's say restaurants, and the immediate community of DJs and restaurants that I knew or had were not making profit,
Mm.
right? Unfortunately, right? But I still loved to serve them because we get to be creative, we get to work, and that helped me build my portfolio, right? Same thing with trying to help startups. It's like, oh, you have a great idea, I can help with the ideas. But what I hated was that whenever I would put my love and passion into a project, for example, for a startup, that startup would just fail. And then so that brand that I created to put a lot of work into, it just doesn't exist anymore. So it's like my work doesn't go past the initial 3 years or 3 months that startup started, right? You know, so that had me thinking, and it's like, all right, I need to focus on being able to serve somebody who's gonna last more than 3-5 years, right? I want my efforts to be impactful.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, who are those, right? Okay, maybe it's not startups. Maybe it's businesses that are already established. Maybe it's nonprofits that are already established as well, right?
Yeah.
And so while I love the creativity of nightlife and DJs, I, at the same time, had to serve those that can actually pay, right? And I'm not saying that DJs can't make it and can't make money, right? It's the scale of that is tremendous, right? There's tons of DJs that are just doing a few $100 gigs and very minimal ones that are doing thousands upon thousands of dollars of gigs, right? So it's completely different. So that had me refocus attention, and in between there somewhere, one of my main clients, who was not a DJ, who was not a restaurant, who was actually I don't even know how to like classify them. They're a set of twins who are creatives, authors, pioneers in technology, innovators, inventors.
Mm-hmm.
They own so many intellectual property is ridiculous. They invented the Nintendo Power Glove.
Wow.
And sold it to Nintendo. So this set of twins, they ended up hiring me to animate at some point when I was in love with animation, right? So I animated their trailers, I animated their books, I animated whatever technology they were coming up with. And eventually they came up with a startup called 451 Media, and that's where I was animating comic books. They gave me a VR camera back in the day when it was a soccer ball with 8 lenses, and I learned VR production. That was able to pay the bills part-time, and I was still able to get my other clients the other part-time. So I had steady income, and then I had fluctuating income, but I was still able to be creative with what I was trying to do.
Nice.
And then, like I mentioned before, pandemic hit, and even right before the pandemic hit, that's when I actually quit that job at 451 Media and wanted to go back to doing my own thing. And that was grow Hallucinated, grow Support Creativity, rebrand my personal brand, Steve Lucin, now into Team Lucin.
Nice.
And that, like, just all that shift and fluctuation and kind of navigating and going through and understanding who I want to serve. Now I have pinpointed, it's like I want to help nonprofit organizations, and if they're in the educational industry, right, that even better, right, educational sector, because education is a huge value of mine, right, and whatever overlaps in my values have with those that I serve, it's that much more meaningful work. It's impactful. I feel good. I do great work. They last longer, and now I even shift to helping them with that impact, right? Because I strategize with them. I really go deep with these nonprofit organizations, and that's what's like helped me grow from $50 flyers all the way to 90 grand projects.
So it's not so much about this. You're not focusing so much on the service. but on the impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. The impact, man. That's huge.
Yeah, because you're still making graphics, or your team is still making graphics, just how you were back in your post college days or your master's days. But now it's just, what are those graphics doing for the brand, or what is it doing for the community? The
Yeah.
answer is a lot more,
Yeah.
a lot bigger impact.
Check this out. So to help me navigate that, right, I did my own personal vision exercise, and I do it every day. I know we've done it with you for your brand.
Yep.
And one of the things that you get out of that exercise is your own sort of like mission statement, right? And so my mission in life is to uplift my community through creativity. So if I, at any point, ask myself, am I uplifting my community with creativity by doing X, Y, or Z? Yes, then I'm in the right path. I'm doing it. So with Hallucinated now, I do uplift my community. I uplift my community of DJs and nightlife attendees and goers and venues through visuals, creativity. For the nonprofits, right, I'm uplifting that whole community with my branding knowledge and strategy knowledge.
Yeah.
With my own nonprofit, absolutely, I'm uplifting students, and it's through an organization called Support Creativity.
Nice.
So I know I'm in the right place, in the right mindset, in the right direction in my life, because I understand my personal mission, my personal values.
And to that point, one of the reasons why I have so much affinity with you and for you is, I read a book, I think it's called Having Fun at Work, something like that.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's a little bit more low key, but one of the chapters was, the more people you help, the more money you will make.
Facts.
So there's a lot of times where you focus on money, like collect, but yes, you could probably collect a lot of money, but if you put the client's well-being first, or if you create a business that's revolved around adding to somebody's life, you'll make way more. You'll make way more. Like, even just if you see like the technology nowadays. Can I get the thing? I think is it the word convenience, right? Like this right here. I'm wearing the glasses. These are, what are they? Ray-Bans?
They're Ray-Ban Metas.
Exactly. So I'm going to. It's on this side, right?
Yep.
So, oh no, I took a picture. All right, hold on.
Yeah, you're recording now.
All right, so I'm recording now. So this is through the lens of Ray-Bans. Kim, say hi. Steve, say hi.
What up?
So just alone with this, right? This is super convenient for creatives or different people that want to get BTS, right? Like, for example, us, we have to carry around a gimbal, a camera, a microphone, and extras, so much shit, like so many bags. But this, if you wanted to just get some BTS, it's just put these glasses on, press the button, and done.
It's phenomenal.
So that's why I know a lot of people are going to buy this. I know it's going to do really well because it brings a lot of, it helps a lot, right? It helps a lot of people, and it's a great product.
You could even live stream with those.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous.
I can't wait to do that. I haven't done that yet.
So I'm gonna hold on to these for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, go for it.
Moving on, to what you were saying before is, you had a part-time job. You were working with, you had a part-time job. You were freelancing on the other half, the other part, right? I know the struggle of that. Everybody who is a freelancer or a business owner understands that there are so many struggles to it. There's definitely the positive side where it's like, I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to do anything. Totally fine. I want to go on vacation. You don't have to, what's the word? You don't have to report to anybody. You don't have a boss. You're your own boss. But the hard part is, if you take a vacation, there's no money, no money coming in if you don't have a salesperson. You still have to pay the same amount of rent. You still have to do everything, right? You get no paid time off. You know, the PTO doesn't exist when you're a business owner, unless if, you clockwork the shit out of your business and then, but you're always going through a struggle, right? Like for me right now, We Capture is doing really, really well. Right. We're going to have a company car soon. The last 2 months have been our highest ever months. I have
Hey.
partners in the company now. I'm paying more. I have a marketing budget to pay for Wedding Pro, so like the Knot and Wedding Wire
Mm.
to get more wedding leads. But at the same time, I'm like I'm happy that I'm doing well, but I'm like, yo, I'm drowning here. So I want to ask you, because you've pivoted so many times.
Oof.
It's just, how do you deal with it on an emotional level, but also on a business level? Like how do you succeed? How do you keep going?
Well, that's a great question. I think on an emotional level, I'm still doing what I love. I love creativity. I love design. I love animation. I love stepping my game up and leveling up,
Hmm.
right? So, like I told you, my trajectory, I learned from design to animation to VR production to like AI to, strategizing with businesses, right? It's all like a learning curve for me. So, I keep things interesting. That's one. And that helps me on an emotional level, right? But that's not to say that I haven't had my fair share of crawling up into a ball and crying, especially during the pandemic. That shit was frightening, right? I was like, yo, what are we doing? What's going on? My business is not healthy. That forces me to, all right, did my crying, suck it up, and figure it out. And part of that was just understanding how to run a business effectively. Like, I remember, I went to school for design. They didn't teach me how to run a business, right? So it's all about the knowledge that's out there and going for it, especially with the internet in this day and age. And now with AI, there's no reason why you can't step your game up. So it's about reaching out and figuring out what resources are out there, consuming the right resources, and then executing. You got to put things into action, at least try it. So I've tried multiple different resources. The one that has stick, which you kind of just planted a little seed right there, a little nugget, was called Run Like Clockwork. Design your business to run itself. I started that program. Well, I read the book, started the program literally a couple months before the pandemic. Pandemic hit. My wife got pregnant. And the whole idea is for the CEO or founder of the business to go on a 4-week vacation. Had the mentorship because it was a program, so I had the coaches and mentorship to help me get through and apply the methodology to my business. And I was able to go on a 4-week paternity leave when my wife gave birth to Aria.
Amazing.
4-week paternity leave, no checking email, no checking Slack, not checking in with my team.
That's so difficult because the business is, for me, it's like I'm addicted to the business, so I'm always thinking about it. Like whether, just check a message here, check Instagram. Let me respond to this message. Let me DM this person. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yep.
I'll be at like eating with my wife, or
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
with family, or I'll be in a meeting, or I'll be filming, and I'll be like, let me respond. Let me do this.
Ugh.
Like you're almost,
It's
a
so bad. It's so bad to do that because my wife, I mean, God bless her, she's been my rock and support. We've been together since 2010. What year is it? 2024.
If you've
So
hit your anniversary already,
14.
14 years, yeah.
So 14 years we've been together, married since 2017.
Amazing.
So she's seen me from my infant stage of my entrepreneurship, my forced entrepreneurship into like where it's at now. And I'm still not at the top of my game. But she has helped me understand the bad effects that my business can have, right? And that's exactly that, like not being present with the ones that you love. I love her. I love Arya. And it irks me whenever I check my phone when I'm with them because I'm not giving my 100% attention to the person that's in the room with me. It has to do with technology, right? It's so easy and accessible, right?
Yeah.
And you always want to move things forward.
Yeah.
But you train yourself to not do that or look at it. At some point in the mornings, right, I learned to not look at my phone and just do my morning routine, right? Not respond to anything, especially not look at email,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do what I need to do in the beginning, what I set out to do in the morning, all before 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
right? I wake up at 4:40, 4:40 a.m. No, as of lately, my cat's been waking me up at 4:20 a.m.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, drowsy a little bit. Then my alarm goes up at 4:40. I feed the cat and I do a protein coffee shake. I go to the gym. I swim and I do laps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take Arya to school, journal, meditate if I can.
And you do all that while I'm still sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
During those hours where, especially after having a kid,
Yeah.
that's precious time that I have by myself,
Mm-hmm.
where I could just make moves,
Yeah.
right, and make moves for myself, health,
Mm-hmm.
right, like therapeutic, just a processing of what's on my mind. Journaling has helped me huge. I practice that every day.
Yeah, your
Just get my
mental
thoughts
health.
out. My mental health.
Mental
Yeah.
health and your physical health.
Mental health, physical health, very foundational. What's good with my heart, right? Arya and my wife, and then, all right, get that out the way, and now I can focus on business.
And one thing I like how you said that. This year I've realized how important your health is for your business, right? For me, again,
Yeah.
entrepreneurship,
Oof.
I'm so focused. Everything I do is focused on the business, right? I talk to Kim all the time, and I'm sure that 80% of our conversations are probably about business. I probably talk about it more than people would want to talk about it with me, but I'm just so...
Me and you, I love it all the
Yeah.
time. But I understand maybe she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want to talk about something else.
But I realized that one's health is so important because that feeds right into it. If your health is bad, or your mental health or your physical health is bad, it affects your business. It affects
Yeah.
your day to day. It affects your everything pretty much. So that's one thing I've been focusing on a lot. Now I have my personal trainer, which is expensive, but I'm biting the bullet because I know I have to do it.
Mhm.
I know myself. I will not do it by myself.
There you
So
go.
I need somebody to push me, put me in my place, humble
Mhm.
me, and
Mhm.
I'll do it. So I think that's really good. So I've been trying to wake up earlier. I've been going to the gym with the trainer. I've been playing soccer. I've been keeping an eye on what I eat because again, if I'm 28 and my knees hurt and I can't exercise and like I can't carry my equipment or I don't have the energy to do stuff during the day, then it's like I'm setting myself up for failure. So I like how before you start your working on your business, you work on yourself
You have
first.
to, man. Yourself is your foundation. I mean, if you're not set for your own self, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're taking those steps
Yeah.
to step your game up.
And I love that. You always tell me to step my game up. Half the time it annoys the fuck out of me, but I really
But
appreciate
it's
you
like,
saying
yo,
that.
just step it up, bro.
And I want to go back to what you were mentioning because you were saying Shade is your rock, your wife is your rock. Today is Valentine's Day,
Oh.
and we're working, unfortunately, but we're working.
But so is they.
Yeah, they're working
They're
too.
working too. It's during
But
the day.
I definitely want to take this moment here and also say that Yasmin, my wife, is the best thing that I could have ever had after Bailey. I'm kidding, but she is again my rock as well. Like she will support me all the time. She totally understands I have to work late or I'm gone for the whole weekend because I have multiple shoots. But also on the other side, she'll humble me. She'll put me in my place and she'll be like, I'll complain about somebody or a client or something to her, and if she thinks that I'm in the wrong, she'll let me know. And it's like, in the moment it may annoy me, but I thank her for it because she's my conscience. So if I did something wrong, if she thinks it's wrong, it's because I know it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she's always there to support me, and she knows I work hard, and I have those days where I come home or I'm home and I'm not motivated or I'm emotionally tired, I'm exhausted, I'm frustrated. Sometimes, again, the business has made me cry for whatever it may be, but again, she's always there. So, my love, I love you so much. I really appreciate you, and you're the best. So,
Hold on, I gotta do that. Shade, I love you so much. You're my rock, my foundation. You have been through everything, thick and thin. It's just been phenomenal to be your husband and to be the father of Arya. Oh, and now the father for soon to be.
baby number 2.
Baby number 2, yeah, we having a baby.
Congratulations,
thank you,
man.
man.
What is that?
August.
How does
due
that
August. Feels great. It's very different from the first time.
feel? Why?
The first time I cried
Of joy or fear?
More fear than joy.
Okay.
There was joy in there, but it was a lot of fear.
Mm.
One, because we also found out 2 weeks before lockdown of the
Oh,
pandemic,
shit.
bro. So I was shitting bricks. Kidding me? What?
Having a baby when no bread is coming in, no
No
money,
bread, no
everything
thing.
shut
Like,
down.
bro, like it was scary as fuck. So, but like I said, cry me a river, build a bridge, get over it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I went on my 4-week paternity leave, and I was able to achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the team that I was building. One of those team members was Yasmin.
Mm-hmm.
Yasmin helped me get over that. Brought in Alex at the time, and and we achieved that.
Mm-hmm.
Now this year we found out in December, and I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. Right away I just felt confident and great. I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring in this baby and I'm gonna go on a 8 to 12 week vacation, paternity leave. You know,
Vacation.
two to
Yeah.
3 months. I'm gonna give myself, right?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell my team right away, and we're gonna work for that, right? So then that's the goal for this year, is like to clockwork the shit out of my business, so that I can have that time with baby number 2 and my family, right?
Mhm.
And then the intention is to, or the intention has been to re-engineer the business so that it can be that way. And my business, as of the past years, has been very, very high touch, customized services per client. And I'm moving away from that and making it very subscription based with parameters. And it's like, hey, this is it. This is the price. Take it or leave it.
Mhm. Steve Lucin on deck.
Which is Team Lucin on deck. Correct.
I keep saying that. Sorry.
It's all good.
Team
It's
Lucin
all,
on
it's all
deck.
good. Team Lucin on deck.
So talk to me about that. What does that consist of? What is Team Lucin on deck?
So Team Lucin on deck is unlimited creativity for nonprofits. So
Nice.
it's a subscription based model where you get unlimited animation, unlimited design, unlimited
Nice.
web, unlimited video.
Nice.
So we allow nonprofits to be subscribed. They receive the designs or whatever creative service within a couple days,
Mm-hmm.
and it's unlimited revisions, unlimited task requests, and we're bringing them into our project management system. I geek out on project management. I'm such a geek when it comes to efficiency and communication, and that's probably one of the main reasons why I've been so successful these 11 years in actual business. Is just the communication level that I have with my clients.
Nice.
So I'm bringing them in, and then they'll be able to just pause or cancel anytime.
And again, that's to what I mentioned previously. It's the impact that you're having. One way or another, this Team Lucin on deck is like a substitute of having an in-house creative,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of people can pay an arm and a leg, can pay $100,000 for one project and get good quality service, or they can save by having somebody full time. But now you're constantly paying payroll. Here, it's you're meeting halfway, but you're getting so much value out of it.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that one creative in New York City at a senior level is 100K plus, maybe with one skill, right? With us, you're getting 4 skills,
Yeah, and you're getting a whole team.
and the team, exactly.
Because now you also have the project manager, you have the creative, you have
Mm-hmm.
all of the supervision,
And-
all of that.
And we could design, produce, create almost anything.
Nice.
So we got you. We got you, nonprofits.
So, yeah, like you're doing that right now with, I don't know, is it okay if we mention some of your clients?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, well, you're doing it right now with CDLI.
So CDLI, they've actually been with the customized portion of my
Mhm.
service. So Team Lucin on Deck just launched literally like a few weeks ago. So
Mhm.
I'm currently shifting all my current clients to that model.
Mm-hmm.
So they officially haven't shifted yet, but
Mhm.
they will hopefully if they're about it.
I want to dive into one example of why your service is so important, and also why branding in general is so important, specifically with CDLI, which is one of your newer projects, like what, the last maybe 12 months?
Well, yeah, I would say that the CDLI stands for Community Development Long Island.
Mm-hmm,
They were
mm-hmm.
probably one of the main clients of 2023.
So the reason why I mention that is because before Team Lucin, it was CDCLI.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's CDLI.
Yeah.
But mention a little bit why CDCLI. There's something wrong with that.
I mean, because of the pandemic, right? CDC was a household name, but not that not that nonprofit organization. That was the Center of Disease Control, right? So they were getting hate mail.
Oh no.
Like, just, it was terrible. And they were like, "Yo, we're a nonprofit trying to help the community and desegregate Long Island, right?" They had a huge branding problem. It wasn't just that, the name, but also just the way their logos looked. They looked exactly the same. And it's like, nah, you got to change this up. So they had a request for proposal out, and I put my bid in, and my team won. So we were able to strategize with them. We have 3 big phases: brand strategy, brand design, brand execution. Brand strategy, we sit down with the leadership 8 to 10 hours, and we ask the right questions. We figure out their why, their vision, their mission. We figure out their ideal customers. We figure out how to communicate their voice. We come up with a manifesto or declaration of like what their brand and their soul represents. We figure out a mini marketing plan. We figure out what their revenue drivers are. We have all that information on a whiteboard, whether it's virtual or physical. We convert that to design. That's where the logo, typography, color, brand guidelines come in. The basics, the foundation of the brand. From there, we go from brand design to brand execution. How do we continuously execute the brand so that people are aware of it? That's where the website comes in. Social media marketing, email marketing, pitch decks, videos, podcasts. We could handle all that. But it's much more powerful and effective when we strategize in the beginning, have a great understanding of what you're trying to do, who you're trying to impact, and then go through my process. And they did it. They did it, and they've been happy, man. Like, it's plain and simple. Like it's a whole refresh. It's a transformation, from the name alone to how it looks to how it's represented on the website to how we're continuously building and creating and telling their stories, and just showcasing the awesome work that they're doing. That's what all nonprofits wish they can do, is just to showcase the work that they're doing. If they just showcased it more properly using the technologies and channels of today, a lot of nonprofits would not exist because they would have accomplished their mission. And that's at the end of the goal, is like for nonprofits to not exist, because they would have,
because they fixed the solution of why they exist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
I never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
So
Well, at least that's my goal. My goal is to have worldwide impact that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic, and I really appreciate you. I speak for the world. I really appreciate you existing.
Thank you, man. Love
Of course. So we're reaching towards the tail end of this. Again, I really appreciate it. I'm glad we're doing this for us, for people to view, but also for myself. One of the things I like to discuss towards the end is, and one of the reasons why I do this, apart from documenting these conversations and just making content, because it's so important nowadays, is also learning, growing mentally, and just learning from other people. Because again, I'm getting closer to my 30s. I'm grown up. I'm a grown ass man, but like, you never seem to figure it out. I feel like there's always new challenges coming. So one of the things I wanted to ask you was, what's your best piece of advice or your best piece of wisdom?
Just in general?
Let's start with, what's the best piece of advice that you've ever been given, or what's the best piece of wisdom you've ever heard?
So one piece of advice that I have been given that I take to heart is right before my dad passed away. I asked him, and this is when I was, I think, like 15, 16. He passed away when I was 17. I asked him, "What do you want me to be when I grow up?" And he's like, "You could be a clown for all I care. As long as you're the best clown and you love doing it, you're good." Yo, I took that to heart, man, and that's why I do what I love. It's because of that.
Mm.
And then what was the second question?
The second question is, um, yeah, what's the best piece of advice that you could give um, to a creative?
Never stop doing what you love. But I think you need to learn business. I don't care if your goal is to work for another business doing creative, or you want to work yourself, for yourself and be a creative. You need to understand business and the business of creativity. So whatever sources that you can get that are out there to help you understand how it all works, how to make more and climb that ladder, do that as early as you can. Thefuture.com, shouts to Chris Doe. I consume their content all the time. I took their business boot camp for creatives, and I learned a lot how to step my game up.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it and use it and apply it.
He's one of the few people that I've seen that gives amazing advice for creative business owners or just business owners in general. There's no reason why we need to be creative business owners, but business owners that are in that creative space. One of the things that one thing that I really enjoy from him is the way that he carries himself in a conversation. Right. I'm going to butcher this probably, but one of the things that he mentioned was like, let's say a $10,000 logo, right? Somebody asked, how much would it cost to do this logo? $10,000, right? And let's say we can get it done in 2 weeks. We just need this, and that, whatever it may be. Boom, 10 grand. But then it'd be like, oh, well, if you're taking less time, shouldn't it be cheaper? But he looks at it the other way where it's like, my expertise, my years of experience have allowed us to do it much quicker. Why should I devalue that?
Yeah.
Right. So
facts.
I love that because I mean, for me, I always struggle with the pricing always. And what I love, sometimes like Kim asked me or Carlos or other people within the group, they'll be like, hey, what should we charge for this? And what always comes to my mind is you told me one time at the very beginning when I started, I said, how much, like, how do you figure out pricing? Do you remember what you said?
No.
You said you charge whatever the fuck you want. Because ultimately,
sounds like me.
Yeah, because ultimately, like there's people that do again $50 logos, and there's people that do $50,000 logos.
Yeah.
So, Chris Doe, Chris Doe is such and the future is such a good platform to learn the business side for creative. So I think anybody who's a creative that struggles with the business side of it, which is a lot of people, including myself, is definitely something that one should watch.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm in the car and there's a 15 minute video of Chris at some sort of talk, and I'll listen to it, and as I'm driving I'm learning, and I may zone out here and there, but there's, as long as I get one piece of wisdom or one piece of advice that helps me improve, I'm like super happy with that.
It's so many golden nuggets, and he does it for free.
Yes.
I aspire for my support creativity arm to be something like that.
Like a course, like
courses, knowledge, resources. I mean, with AI nowadays, I think AI is just gonna be generally giving it all out to everybody.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube, there's so much free content already, right? There's a lot of self-made careers now. As long as you're not a doctor or something with a certification, you can learn on YouTube and just be an expert.
YouTube University.
YouTube. A lot of
So
things that
real.
I learned is through YouTube.
Yeah.
So why can't everybody else?
I mean, you have to be self-disciplined, and you have to understand yourself, and you have to want it. If you don't understand yourself or what you want, then you can't go out and be hungry for it and want it, or go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But I think that's pretty much it. I really appreciate you having this conversation with me. Um, Again, I got a lot of love for you. I hope. No, I don't hope. I know we've worked together for like the last 5 years since that first ever editing session that you gave me. Who knows where we'll be in 5 more years or 10 more years? At this point, like I said, maybe 2 hours ago, I was like, that studio that you're gonna have, that warehouse, my name is gonna be on that lease as well. So I know
Yeah, I like that.
we're gonna be
I
together
love
for a
that. I
very
know
long time.
that's gonna happen, bro. Like something about me, like I get focused on one thing, I'm gonna do it. I'll make it happen. I don't give a fuck.
And I believe you. I know you're gonna do it. Um, so I wanna finish off. Take advantage of this. I would like for you to give We Capture a little testimonial. We've been working together for so much time.
Excellent.
Look into that camera.
Do I gotta get closer?
No, no, no.
Just right
just
here, just how
confirm.
I am.
Uh, just tell people why work with We Capture. Not
Yeah.
Brian, but We Capture.
Okay. You gotta work with We Capture Media because the team is phenomenal. Very easy to work with, high quality content, and they turn it around super fast. And they're always stepping their game up. So go to WeCapture.media, go to the contact page, and step your game up with the content that they have.
Perfect. Thank you. And then one last thing, more of like
Yo,
a
take that clip, put it in Google Maps or whatever the fuck, the Google reviews.
uh-huh. Oh yeah,
Oh, no,
that's
no, I
smart.
gotta do that. I gotta
If
clip
you
it.
can, yeah,
Well,
that would
clip
be
it
awesome.
out for me,
Yeah.
and I'll post it as me,
Yeah.
and then boom.
Cool. And then one last thing, like this is for We Capture marketing purposes, but what is something that you like about We Capture or even myself that is different from, let's say, other videographers that you've worked with, or what's different about us that you don't find in other people?
So it's gonna be the relationship that we have. So it's perhaps not fair for other people, right? Because I've known you since you were 7, 10 years old. So that's that, right? But we didn't start like really like working together until you were in your 20s or whatever. So, but because of that foundation, it's so much fun working with you. I love these days. These monthly sessions is my favorite times in my business because we get to create, we joke around, but we are productive. You learn from me, I learn from you. Everybody's happy. So it's great working with you because I have that relationship with you. I could be real with you, right? And it's all good. And then the people that you bring on are all very nice and easy going to work with too.
Kim is smiling. Well, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate
I'm
the
not
kind
done.
words.
So not. I mean, we're not done.
Okay.
So why do you like working with me then? I want the testimonial now.
Yeah. Why do I like working with Team Lucin or Steve Lucin?
Steve Lucin.
Steve Lucin. I like working with Steve Lucin because he's selfless, very unique. There are not many people out there like Steve. He's, apart from being good at what he does and having amazing service, he always has the best interest of the client or the brand or the nonprofit at heart. That's why you guys go through the rigorous brand discovery, that 8-hour session where you guys are just brainstorming and going through all of it. It's because once that is done and clear, that's Steve's mission, is to complete what you guys did then and there. And it's like no other. I have yet to meet another company or business owner, creativepreneur like that. And I don't think working with Steve Lucin will ever be a mistake for any of you guys. I think it will always be a positive, and even more than positive. I think it would be just like a complete masterclass of a move to work with Steve Lucin.
Hey, you hear that? I give a fuck.
So yeah, man. Anything else you'd like me to?
We could wrap it up, bro.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Cool. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Love you, man. OD.
That's number 6 in the books. Thank you so much, and hopefully in a couple months' time we could do another one and actually just talk shit.
Okay.
And just joke around and stuff.
Sounds
All right?
good.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate
My
it.
brother. Peace.
Love you, buddy.
Peace.